Assalamu alaikum. Hi everyone. Warmly welcome to all of you. We are starting a new series of vlogs related to Saudi Aramco Work Permit Receiver WPR, third party exam question and answers, particular for third party exam. Okay. But for Aramco exam, of course, already a lot of videos are uploaded, but still for some of the new question bank. After this vlog, we'll start sharing that one also. So within that vlog, we are starting with book number 1, hazard recognition, and practically we'll be learning how to create questions, what type of questions can be there out of this book. Like if you see few of the examples for the time being, then we'll start preparing by ourselves. I really want you to practice also how to prepare questions and how the answers must be in your mind, technically, the correct answers I'm talking about. So, like, if we talk about question number 1, like, who is authorized to stop unsafe act? And if I elaborate further, who is authorized to stop any sort of unsafe act within Saudi Aramco? So, uh, I'm sure a few of the answers are coming in your mind, but what is the right answer? I hope in the next slide you will see the right answer and just match whatever you thought in your mind. Was it the right answer or otherwise? I'm going to share. That means all personnel, that everybody, everyone, direct or indirect employee of Saudi Aramco, contractor, or even Aramco itself, everybody is authorized to stop unsafe act within Saudi Aramco. That's why they mention all personnel. Now, the next question we can think about. You remember in the previous vlogs, we went through like 11 videos for hazard recognition and controls, and 4 videos for confined space entry, the second book, and the 4 videos for load to and isolation or lockout tag or hold tag. And for all 3 books, I always mention before you start learning those books, make sure you have understanding about stop work authority. And now the question can be there in third party exam: what are the 5 steps to stop work? What are the 5 steps to stop work? If you are stopping any work, the in the first question, everyone have authority to, everybody is empowered to stop work. But what are the 5 steps to stop work? If you know the answer, just put in the comment box before you look into the right answer on the next slide. Okay, so I hope you have mentioned or written somewhere or have commented already, but look at the right answer in sequence. The first step is stop, notify, investigate, communicate, and follow up. Stop, notify, investigate, communicate, and follow up. Sequence is important here, right? Now, the examiner might be, he will put all 5 options in one line, and then, damage the sequence or add some other, incorrect words just to confuse your mind, right? So you have to, if any question comes related to 5 steps of top work authority, remember you have to give answers: stop, notify, investigate, communicate, and follow. Let's take another example of one more question. Do contractor employees have authority to stop work? Do contractor employees have authority to stop work? Of course, yes, because it's kind of, quite understandable thing. Even in the previous question, it's already mentioned all personnel, right? Now, another question: most incidents in the workplace are caused by a combination of unsafe acts and unsafe what? Conditions, right? Quite simple. Same way, now I really want to share, in a different, like what I can do is I can add few more slides and start preparing, like just as a practice That's what I really want to encourage you. Like, what is, if somebody asks you what is what is hazard actually, or what is the definition of hazard, you know? So what is coming in your mind? What is coming in your mind? What is hazard? Okay. So in the new slide, might be you can also comment in the video, but in the comment box. But I will be mentioning here, like as per Saudi Aramco, what they have clearly mentioned that anything that has the potential to cause harm to four important elements like people, environment, assets, and the business. So PEA, like people, environment, assets, and business. Anything. Hazard means anything, okay, that has the potential to cause harm to what? People, okay. Then I mentioned what? Environment and assets and what? Business, right? So that means sometime a terrible hazard can destroy any of the important elements like people, environment, assets, and business. And those hazards could be like electrical, mechanical, gravity, motion, pressure. If undercome, safety hazards may be biological, chemical, you know, noise and vibration, temperature, something like that, or radioactive even, or radiation in other words. So what are you thinking? Can we make one more question out of that hazard recognition? What do you think if you get a question, what are the most common cause of incidents at Saudi Aramco? The most common cause of accidents in Saudi Aramco. I'm just, giving you some energy how to prepare some questions by yourself, like an examiner. I know it's really hard working, but still practice makes a man perfect, right? So the most common cause of accidents in Saudi Aramco, what is that? So I'm sure some answers are coming in your mind. So I hope you remember failure to follow what? Rules and procedures. Rules and procedures. So this is the answer. Okay. So guys, please, well done is well done. You guys have to practice the same way. I'm telling you, you'll be rocking very soon, inshallah, because this is how the learning process should go on. Now, if you get another question like hazard recognition and reporting, hazard recognition and reporting is the responsibility of Aramco only. Now, true or false? What is coming in your mind? Hazard recognition and reporting is the responsibility of Aramco only. What's your answer? False, right? Because everyone is responsible. Everyone is responsible to learn and understand how to recognize the hazards, how to report any sort of hazard. So it's everyone's responsibility. Let's take one more example from our brain. Like if somebody asks you, there is a hierarchy of control. So give an example of engineering control. Give an example of engineering control. And there are a lot of examples, right? But at least give one. What is coming in your mind, guys? In Aramco, the hierarchy of control is mentioned like what? Engineering controls, administrative controls, and PPs. But here he's asking example of engineering control. So can we take elimination as an example? Like elimination of hazard. That is an example of engineering control as per Aramco theories, right? Okay, so one more example. Please, the same way you have to practice again and again. I'm requesting you again and again because self done is well done. I know on day one, because I also started first time to doing like this, live in front of you. Otherwise, normally it's required a very peaceful environment and, the complete focus. And that focus because you are not going to record in that way, right? So you will have no pressure. So just make sure you are practicing even with the ball pen and diary or or notepad, whatever, or you directly type somewhere in Word, Excel, even in PowerPoint. So you can prepare some presentations of question bank. Like you can prepare the question bank by yourself, but just make sure your question is logical, technically sound, and the answers what you are generating as per your learning or the way you have learned Aramco theory, just make sure your answer is 100% correct. And might be you can start preparing, with the more than 1000 different question bank actually, as a question bank, like more than 1000 different questions, like we just started. And it is taking like within 1 minute at least you can prepare one question, right? So if somebody asks, give an example of, like in the previous question, they asked, give an example of engineering control. So in same way, what if somebody give an example of administrative control? You remember the hierarchy of control? Administrative control. So what would be your answer? What is coming in your mind? Is talking about example, right? Is asking example. What example can be there? For administrative controls, the good example is rules and procedures, right? Even your PTW system, the work permit forms, or the toolbox meeting you do, and the warning signs, different kind of written instructions, work instructions, SOPs, all are coming under administrative control. So rules and responsibilities. This is kind of a right answer. Okay. So guys, slow and steadily win the race. I'm going to stop this video here. I just put, maybe let's count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 question. Let's do one more. Select and since we have an example of administrative control, so might be one example of PPs. Example of PPs as a control measure. Huh? So what would be your answer? even SCBA or SABA, like self-contained breathing apparatus, or supplied air breathing apparatus, right? So guys, this is just a start, because I really want to motivate you guys that you have to prepare some of the question bank by yourself through the Aramco theories, by learning, but use your brain to prepare the questions and make sure your answers are technically correct as per Aramco guidelines. So let's summarize. Question number one: who is authorized to stop unsafe act? Yes, all personnel. What are the stop work steps, or the 5 steps? Stop, notify, investigate, communicate, and follow up. Do contracted employees have authority to stop work? Yes. Most incidents in the workplace are caused by a combination of unsafe acts and unsafe conditions, right? What is hazard? As per Aramco, anything that has the potential to cause harm to people, environment, assets, and business itself. So it's called hazard. But hazards can be safety hazards and health hazards, further subcategories. And under safety hazards, we have electrical, mechanical, motion, pressure, you know, and even like electrical, mechanical, gravity, motion, and pressure. And under health hazards, we have biological, chemical, radiation, temperature, or noise and vibration. Five five subcategories under health hazard, 5 subcategories under safety hazards. Again, 5 subcategories of hazards. And there can be a lot of examples, like a lot of examples related to electrical hazards could be there, and a lot of examples related to mechanical hazards same way. So this is what you truly need to remember, because that is your core job function as a WPR, to be capable as a hazard recognizer. Now another question we prepared: the most common cause of incidents in Saudi Aramco is failure to follow rules and procedures. One more question we prepared: hazard recognition and reporting is the responsibility of Aramco only. No, it's false. Give an example of engineering control is elimination, and one example he asked. One more example of administrative control, that is rules and responsibilities. One example of PPs, that is SCBA or SABA. That means self-contained breathing apparatus or supply air breathing apparatus. So guys, wait for part 2, inshallah. So I'm going to encourage you all to prepare the question bank by yourself, like I started this, today. And in the second part, maybe 10 more questions. Then third part, again 10 more questions. So through this way, I'll be encouraging basically. But in fact, you have to do a lot of hard work to prepare the question bank by yourself, and just keep us updated, or even you can share some of the questions and answers, if you don't mind, in the comment box for the learning of the mass community, mashallah, like because this training zone is becoming like a daily learning club for all of us. And let's see how we can help each other and support each other to be more better professional, especially to serve Saudi Aramco. Thank you very much. So nice of you. Take care of yourself.